the ability to ask for better from anyone. We must never surrender our agency to be outraged when our leaders underperform. Our communities deserve leaders who welcome scrutiny, not ones who hide behind identity to avoid it. Now, let me put my hard hat on, go back outside, and see if these procrastination Crenshaw construction crews have shown up yet. I'm saving space for grace, but if these trucks don't show up soon, well, you already know. With the KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
First things first.
First things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not to unsettle you. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique the Prima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique the Prima. Go sis.
First things first. First things first. First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima. The show is called First Things First, and my very first thing every single day is prayer, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God Almighty, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. We certainly always have a lot to talk about around here. It's a Think Tank Thursday. So put your thinking cap on as we crowdsource our wisdom for solutions and innovations. That's what we do on Thursdays, just in general. You're always invited in to share said wisdom at 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580, regardless of where you are. We love to hear from you. And of course, the way we do things around here most days, but especially on a Thursday, hour one, we look local, what's going on left coast side of town. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. In the third hour, we do a deep dive on a hot topic or person and persons of interest. We are on track for that today. Right now, it's me, you, and the microphone, telephone, and the Miles Lowe over there, the artist with many an interesting thought on the mic, kind of millennial representative around here. But we'll be joined the second half of this hour by Charles Dickerson, who's the founder, executive director, and the conductor of the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles. It's the biggest orchestra of color in the whole U.S. And so we'll find out what they are doing right now and what is the state of these young, talented musicians. We always think everybody's doing sampling and studio masterpieces, but there's so many young people that are going a different route. And then we'll be joined by Jared Hill. We'll unbox some of these national and international issues. Of course, Jared is a journalist, and he's got an NAACP Image Award-winning book historically black phrases. So it's always fun to talk to Jared about what's going on politically here in the United States. We'll stay on that musical tip today as we welcome in Dr. Margina Christian, hour 3, looking at the role of black women in media and pop culture. That's her specialty, and she's got a new book digging into the Motown scene, the life and times of Motown's legendary songwriter Sylvia Moy is her text. So we have got a lot to talk about today. We'll have some fun, and we will, go at it as we always do. You're welcome in. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. So many things on that I could ask you to put your think tank on about your thinking cap for your think tap. You know what I'm saying. Use your brain for. Two things I was really pondering on yesterday. One, what can we do to get through the next 2 2/3 of a year, whatever it is we have left in this presidency? Because the president of the United States is declining rapidly. And now you can really, if you were somehow in denial, maybe you could have skipped it, but now it's getting so blatant. He called the Ukrainian president, Zelensky, he called him Putin. He's mixing up people, places, and things. He called Japan the Islamic Republic of Japan twice, not once, but twice. These are huge. So when you mix the lies, which he's always done that, like the prevaricating president is what I like to call him sometimes. If you mix the lies with the just straight up, he is having cognitive decline moments, it's really pretty dire. So what do we do about that? And you can literally see him disintegrating before our eyes. You can see it in his face, his eyes, his hair, everything. Everything is just sort of melting. So there's that. In the midst of this president, I was looking at an article yesterday, has denied disaster relief to 80% of the time to blue states. We only get disaster relief out of our tax money that we paid 20% of the time, and the red states are getting it about 80%. We're getting it about 20%. They're getting it about 80%, which is crazy. And it is especially alarming if you are in California and you've seen the Orange County disaster, right, with that chemical tank that we were waiting for it to explode, which luckily the firefighters were able to get that tamped down. We know, I hate to say it out loud, but we know we're always one calendar day away or less from an earthquake, right? And then we have seen this disaster in Boyle Heights, which is really still causing distress there. That is not over. So there's no raging fire, but there's still tens of millions of pounds of rotting food and rodents and stench. Okay. So we're in a disaster-prone era, not just because the climate emergency is causing problems, not just because the president is deregulating everything to where these chemicals and corporate polluters are less organized, less regulated than they were, but it's just, that's where we are. We're in a time where all of these factors are coming together: the climate emergency, deregulation, the impacts of lingering impacts of drought. We're in a disaster-prone time. Now you've got this guy who actually doesn't even seem to be all the way here, dialed in. But yet he started a war in Iran, what's so that's one thing I was thinking. You've got this guy who's clearly not all the way there. How do you, and then the people around him, these authoritarian white nationalist folks around him are quite competent. So our representation on the world stage is very very embarrassing and problematic on the one hand. On the other hand, you have a very rapid implementation of things that are going to impact our everyday lives. The president announced, I think yesterday, that the ceasefire with Iran is over. Now they're back. Well, it's 2 nights in a row now. They're back to bombing each other. They being the United States military and the Iranian military. And gas prices immediately went up. I mean, so even if you don't care about hundreds of schoolgirls being slaughtered, even though they had nothing to do with any of this, you are going to be impacted in your everyday life. So that's thought number one. How do we think our way out of this moment? And the other one has to do with something that I don't know, maybe you're tired of me talking about it, but I doubt it, because I noticed it hasn't slowed down on socials, and that's the case of Nolan Wells. We've had some new breaking news around this. The 18-year-old who was found dead after coming up missing during a trip to Horn Island in Mississippi on a boat with friends. Okay? So my question about this, because clearly there's epigenetic, historical, collective trauma here that is resonating in the Black community, in the way that we are receiving this news of a young Black man found dead after hanging out with his all-white friend group and hanging out with his white girlfriend, who is said to be cooperating with authorities. And so we see this as emergency, something that must be addressed, potential hate crime, whereas the mainstream media doesn't see it that way. And it's Trayvon Martin all over again. It's the Jenna 6 all over again, when the mainstream media ignores until we get so loud on social media that they jump on that. And that jumping on happened yesterday. Suddenly ABC, NBC, CBS, they're all reporting on it. And they're acting like they've been reporting on it all along, which is hilarious to me. But it doesn't have the same urgency. So my other question that I have been pondering, and I know that what happens is we become the news desk for our own community, whether it's independent media, social media, or Black-owned outlets like this one. We set the agenda. We are the news desk for ourselves. So does it matter if mainstream media reports these? Do we just dig in with what our own outlets are, or do we need to call them out, as many people are, and force them to cover the issues that are of urgency to us? Because after all, we do support them. We support their bottom lines. Without us, most of these outlets would not thrive. So those are two different questions that I put up there for you this morning, and you can call me about that, or if you have something else on your mind. There's some wild things that we can catch up on that are going on nationally, locally, internationally. They're all intersecting right here in the beautiful, beautiful Golden State, beautiful, beautiful, very warm Golden State of California. We'll continue that when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
She's sharp. She's fearless.
I don't know what they told you, but if they told you that cutting me off is how I was going to get clicks, stop it now.
She's that girl, and she's bringing all of that to your radio this summer. Amanda Seales is here.
I am Amanda Seales.
Comedian, artist, actress, activist, truth teller. The woman who never bites her tongue is coming to KBLA Talk 1580. And baby, the conversations are about to be unmatched. Every Friday, she's going to be lit, noon to 2 p.m. and back again 4 to 6 p.m. Starting Friday, July 17th, only on KBLA Talk 1580. Amanda Seales, keeping it real, keeping it raw, and keeping it rooted. Politics, pop culture, black excellence, the stuff they don't want us talking about. Amanda's talking about all of it.
You keep interrupting me when I'm talking, and you don't want to hear the point that I'm going to make. And yet you want me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works.
This is not your average radio show. This is a Seals Summer. Fridays, noon to 2, 4 to 6. Starting Friday, July 17th. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. Don't just listen. Tune in.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Right now, and in case you are not tracking it, we are under extreme heat warnings throughout Southern California right now, other than Lompoc. I mean, you're pretty much, you're good if you're in Irvine, but other than that, it's extreme heat. The desert areas up to 115 degrees. I know, Miles, you're used to that because you're from Vegas, but a lot of folks here are not. And it's going, we're looking at extreme heat. And then we're supposed to see rain at the weekend. Then it can go back to extreme heat early next week, Monday through Thursday. But we're looking at weird, I'm not going to say it, weird weather. But look, just hydrate because people actually die from that.
Weird 80-degree heat.
Well, it's 80 degrees here.
Yeah.
But the valley and the desert areas are going up to triple digits.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I got you.
And he thinks 80 degrees is low. It is. That's pleasant. But it's meant to be actually low 90s in LA today.
Ooh.
So
okay.
I know what Vegas is like 113 or something.
112 today. I got to remember how big LA County is. So, yeah, there are parts of LA County that are going to get blazing hot. I get that
Yeah,
for sure.
up to 115. The IEE, they're saying 101. So we'll see. And also the thing is, if you're not used to it, you can really get heat stroke, heat exposure. There's 3 different kinds of heat disease thingies. Especially if you are chronologically gifted, if you're seasoned, gotta drink water. Eat cucumbers and watermelon, things that hydrate the body.
Shade, get a fan on, one little portable fan, stay cool.
The libraries, you're allowed to go cool off in the libraries. And if you want to find out about cooling stations, you can call 311. They have a list, and you can call 311 and ask them where you can go. They have places where you can just go sit in the air and get some water. I know you're making fun of it, but it's serious business for a lot of people. A lot of people will actually get very sick or die. We're going to go to Steve calling us from Brooklyn. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. How are you?
I am blessed. How you doing? What's on your mind today?
Not too much. I saw someone comment, and I just want to comment. And first of all, I'd like to talk about what they call the new black media. I'm glad we have it. Thank God to the internet. We're able to communicate
Yeah.
without depending on mainstream media, our own ideas and thoughts. And we could use that as a unifying force, right? Whatever issues we have collectively, and be on the same page, basically. So platforms like yours and the other various black media, no one watches mainstream media that much anymore anyhow.
True.
Right? So,
True.
and one of the things I'm concerned with is that we need to focus on our own community. There's so much senseless crime every day that happens in our community.
You're talking about community violence.
Yeah, it's just senseless, stupid violence.
Yeah, how is it bad
bus
in Brooklyn right now? Because in Cali we're seeing historic lows. Our violence, our community violence is way down here, down to 1950s levels. The police violence is up. Police violence is up.
Well,
but
they always lie.
Yeah.
They always lie about statistics, the police, but it's up. There's a podcast that I watch by former police officers. They're in the know. They say the violence is up, right?
Well,
Because
they
it's
always
become
say that because
cultural.
that's how they get more money for weapons and more cops. They always say that.
But
There could be
even
not
just that,
one
it's
death,
just-
and they would still say that.
Right. There's two sides to that. It's true and it's not true. But besides that, even the black cops would tell you that crime's up and there's problems. Most of the problems is
But
just
even the
behavioral
black cops are
problems we
cops. I mean, respectfully.
have. Most of the problems we have are behavioral problems. You understand?
What do you
just
mean?
don't
You're
know how
talking
to
about
behave.
mental
Yeah.
health?
It's not even mental health. I think it's just cultural. What we've normalized bad behavior. People having no matter. You go on the bus, and if I could just be honest, if you go on the bus in Brooklyn, for instance, it's horrible. People sneak in the back of the bus.
So the
and then
buses
they
should
just
be
make
free. How about that?
Spectacles.
I mean, a lot of these these issues that you're
You
calling
ask me if it should be
behavioral
free?
go to. I think that buses should be free so people can get to where they're going. I mean, if we can subsidize foreign countries to have weaponry, why not subsidize our citizens to get to their jobs and their schools? I know what you're talking about. We have problems with people acting out on public transportation here too, but I think a lot of the problems you attribute to behavior are also attributable to poverty.
No, it has nothing to do with poverty. I grew up poor, and I don't remember black people behaving this way. Poor people were always dignified. These are people, they come on the bus, and usually it's always women. They start in arguments, like they push. They don't even pay to come in, and they arguing and fighting with each other. And other black people notice it too, and just
And you
people
don't
just
think
sick
white
of it.
folks
And
have
it
this
has
problem?
nothing to do
Have
with-
you been to poor white
But who
communities
cares?
and rode
You don't
around on their
live
bus?
in-
No, the
Yes.
reason I
The
care
type
is
of work I
because
do,
you're
I'm in-
pathologizing us. You're making it seem like there's something wrong with black people, and I would argue no. There's something wrong with poverty.
There is. Other communities are poor too. I work in other communities.
And
so
they
I know
got
how
problems
behave.
too. Guess what? They got problems too.
I'm not saying they don't.
Okay.
You see, you're just dismissing everything I say.
No, I'm
So
not
how would
dismissing what
everything
you're
ever-
saying.
how would
But
we
what
ever
I'm
correct
hearing is
ourselves?
I'm hearing talking points that I always hear to downplay black people and make us seem like we are the problem. And I don't agree that we're the problem. I'm not dismissing you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be arguing back. I wouldn't. I'm
If you
obvious,
have- do you have
obviously I'm
children?
listening. Yes, I do.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Okay, if you live in a black neighborhood,
Yes, I do.
when you worry about your child coming home from school or work and getting jumped by a gang or having to dodge bullets or getting hit by, you're not worried about a white kid doing it. You worry about your own people.
Well, I worry. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I worry about humanity, but
Right?
I understand what you're saying. What I
Right,
don't,
so
but
we
what
need
I
to
don't
focus on
allow
ourselves
is the
and we-
pathologizing of our black people, especially young people, on my mic because they do it all day on mainstream media.
Who does that?
Mainstream media
They,
and the
Oh, okay.
internets, by the way, too.
I don't even listen to mainstream media
Do
anymore.
do you
anyhow.
watch those
So-
videos of all the fight videos that they like to show on socials? Okay,
I'm just talking about
you only
what I
watch it in real
experience.
life, right? Gotcha.
I'm talking about what I experience day to day, just going to the supermarket. The other day I was in a corner store, as we have in Brook, and the woman came in there, and there's a young Arab guy. He might have been 15 years old, probably working in his parents' store. they're teaching him the business. And she came in there and she complained about the juice that she ordered. And she took the juice and she threw it at him, spilled it. I don't even think the kid speaks English. And she took everything on the counter and she just threw it on the floor, right? She wanted her money back. She bought the juice on using an EBT card. She wanted her money. And it's like, and these things are normal every day.
So what's your solution? What's your bottom line? You just called here to tell me that black people are crazy? I mean, where are we going with this?
Did I say they're crazy?
Well, kind of, yeah. You just described a woman going into a store and throwing juice down and wanting a refund. I don't know the backstory. Like, so what is your bottom line? Because I'm up against my news and traffic.
You got to think more critically.
I am thinking very critically. You're the one spewing Republican talking points on my microphone, sir. Okay, I got news, traffic, and sports. We can continue the conversation anytime. Steve, I do appreciate the call, and I love to mix it up with you. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. A 5-year-old Detroit boy is recovering after being shot while riding his bicycle outside his home on the west side of the city. Police Chief Todd Bettison.
His father was supervising, and the father heard approximately 3 gunshots, and his child fell from his bicycle.
Police say the child was struck in the arm and is expected to fully recover. Investigators have identified a teen person of interest and believe the boy was not the intended target. Maryland Senate Republicans are criticizing a planned August special session on redistricting. Minority leaders argue lawmakers should focus on issues like the cost of living and energy prices, saying the session is driven by more politics than Maryland's future. And Jermaine Dupri is suing Sony Music Entertainment, claiming his So So Def label is owed millions in unpaid royalties. Dupri alleges Sony underpaid royalties tied to hits by Da Brat, Escape, Mariah Carey, Usher, and Bow Wow, and says he's owed more than $10 million in interest. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Cleaning starts with one small task, and suddenly it's the whole house. Luckily, there's AirTasker. Post your task, set your budget, and choose a tasker to help. From carpet cleaning to finally tackling the junk drawer. Go to airtasker.com or download the app.
AirTasker. Get anything done.
Attention Ram owners. Complete Recall 67A. Get $500 and a chance to win a getaway to Miami for 2 to see the final race of the season. Plus, meet Brendan Butterbean Queen. Learn more and schedule at CumminsRecall.com.
Is this the This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers got by Colorado Wednesday night 4-3. A very impressive at-bat for Dodgers shortstop Mookie Betts in the 8th inning. Mookie had 2 strikes on him after facing 8 pitches. On the 9th pitch, Mookie delivered a game-winning RBI single. The Dodgers are off today. They're at home Friday night against Arizona. The Major League Baseball draft is Saturday. UCLA shortstop Rock Cholowski is projected to be the #1 overall pick. Cholowski was voted Big Ten Conference Player of the Year this season. He batted .320 with 21 homers and 60 RBIs. First pick in the draft belongs to the Chicago White Sox. In my Thursday afternoon sports update, I'll have a recap for you on Coco Gauff at Wimbledon. The 22-year-old African-American is playing this morning in the semifinals against Carolina Muchova. Coco is aiming for her first Wimbledon championship. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let's do this. We're heading into one of the most important election seasons in a generation. And with so much on the line, your health care, your economy, your neighborhood, you deserve more than sound bites. You deserve the full story. KBLA Talk 1580 is your trusted voice for political coverage, commentary, and conversation. From local races to national headlines, we bring you the insight and perspective you need to make sense of it all and make your voice heard. Between now and November, a lot will happen. A lot will change. But one thing won't. KBLA Talk 1580 will be right here, keeping you informed, keeping you engaged, and keeping it real. KBLA Talk 1580, the place for politics.
Don't be anxious or confused about AI. Take control of your career when you get the skills to tackle real business problems and design specialized solutions. HR Dive reported that entry-level talent with applied AI credentials can receive up to a 25% salary boost. But where do you find training that you can trust? Future-proof your career and deliver more value with Humans Lead the Way AI. Their hybrid learning courses use practical definitions, real-world examples, and strategic insights to help you and your team understand AI with confidence. No magic, no hacks, no shortcuts. Just practical knowledge that helps you use AI more successfully. Don't wait. AI can never replace people who know how to use it well. Register for courses today at humansleadtheway.com. That's humansleadtheway.com.
This November, you'll decide who leads California. So shouldn't you hear directly from the people asking for your vote? Join us for California Voices, a political town hall and ballot forum, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026. Meet candidates running for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and other major statewide and local offices, including Mayor of Los Angeles, city attorney, and LA County Sheriff. Get clear, nonpartisan breakdowns of the propositions on your November ballot, both sides, no spin. And ask your questions directly, in real conversation, face to face. California Voices is brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the Empowerment Congress, giving you the information you need before you vote. Mark your calendar, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026, California Voices. Follow KBLA 1580 for details and download the KBLA 1580 app. Your vote, your voice. Be there.
As the poet laureate of Harlem, Langston Hughes, once said, I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow, I'll sit at the table when company comes. Nobody dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America. KBLA Talk 1580 and the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles invite you to attend the 18th season finale concert, I Too Sing America, honoring the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, this Sunday, July 12, 3 p.m. at the Walt Disney Concert Hall. Curated by conductor Charles Dickerson and performed by the largest orchestra of color in the nation, I Too Sing America promises to be a show you won't soon forget. This Sunday, July 12, 3 p.m. at the Walt Disney Concert Hall in downtown Los Angeles. Purchase tickets at icyola.org or from the Music Center box office at musiccenter.org.
I too sing America.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
And a treat is in store for you. Yes, a palate refresher after our conversation last half hour and the conversations that you're probably having in your homes and offices, just given what's going on in America and the whole wide world. I'm joined by the founder and executive director, the conductor of the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles, which you may not know is the largest orchestra of color in the entire United States. Charles Dickerson, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. What a joy it is to be here with you. Thank you for having me with you this morning.
Thanks for coming in. Every month is Black Music Month to me.
Yes.
And I think we don't think of, oh, what shall I do for a career? I'll be a conductor. I don't know how many Black African-American conductors we have working professionally, but that you've been doing so for decades.
Well, you are absolutely right. There are very, very few of us, particularly on the orchestral side of things. And I kind of focus a lot of what I do on the orchestral side of things. And when I say the orchestral side of things, I contrast that with the choral side of things. Generally, when we think of conductors, you're either conducting human voices of people singing, like in a choir, or you're conducting instruments, like in an orchestra or a band of some kind. And right now, I have the privilege of doing both. I have a little bit of a legacy in this. My father was a church choir director back in 1930s.
Wow.
And so, I'm born in 1952. I come up in a home where my father is getting ready for actually in those days Sabbath morning services, getting the choir ready. My mother was in the choir. And so I kind of grew up at his feet, at their feet, kind of watching what happens. And I began as a choral conductor. And to this day, I'm still choral conductor. Some of your listeners, I'm sure, will recall that I spent 10 years serving as director of music as the choral conductor at Holman United Methodist Church. And now I'm at Rolling Hills United Methodist Church, where I've been for 21 years. So I've been conducting choirs for in excess of 50 years. But I began really conducting orchestras about almost 20 years ago now. And that came about because generally around the Christmas season, or the Easter season, I should say, and the Easter season, at Holman Church, where I was the director of music and the conductor of the choir, we would put on a rather spectacular Christmas and or Easter season performance. And we would bring in members of what was then the Southeast Symphony. And they would play with us as we did Handel's Messiah, or the Seven Last Words of Christ, or the Brahms Requiem, or the Mozart Requiem, or things of that nature. And then when the conductor of the Southeast Symphony rather abruptly resigned back in, 2004, they approached me about coming on and becoming their conductor. So I then kind of switched my focus from being a choral conductor to an orchestral conductor. And there are certain differences.
Is it a different skill set?
Not really a different skill set. It's a different focus on the music itself. Choral conductors tend to be a little less, if I may say so, with all due respect, a little less precise than instrumental ensembles need. And so when I began taking up this instrumental side of things, I would go to workshops and make sure that I refined my craft. And I'm privileged and honored to work with the musicians who sit in an ensemble and help us all make music together.
Wow. It seems very huge. It seems like a big task, sort of being the spine of this group of talented artists.
You'll forgive me, but I don't really think of it like that.
Okay.
I know that others do, but I don't, because I guess I've been at it so long, and for me it's such a joy. It's not a task. It's not work. It's not, we're making music.
Right. Absolutely.
And so to be able to stand in front of, on Sunday we'll have almost 100 young people on the stage. To be able to stand in front of them and lead them as they produce the music, that's a joy. That's an honor.
The Inner City Youth Orchestra is what you're referencing, and of course you'll be on stage at the Disney Hall in downtown Los Angeles.
That's right.
On Sunday.
That's right. At 3 o'clock on Sunday. And we invite everyone to come. There are tickets available.
So it's 3 o'clock Sunday.
Yes.
And it's I Too Sing America.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the 250th anniversary of America. A different take.
That's right.
There will be no wrestling, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, God.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I got you. Absolutely not. No, there will be. We will be reciting. William Allen Young, who you may know as a well-known actor within our community, will be there to recite "I Too Sing America." It's actually a poem by Langston Hughes, written in 1925 during the Harlem Renaissance, and he wrote it in response to a poem by Walt Whitman that Whitman had written in 1860, that basically talks about singing the tunes of America, and he entirely left out Whitman, entirely left out African Americans, left out blacks. And so about 100 years later, well, not quite 100 years later, but 60 or 70 years later, during the Harlem Renaissance, here comes Langston Hughes, and he says, wait a minute, I too sing America. We've done just as much to build up this country as anybody who is not black. We have just as much the right to be treated with dignity and honor just as anybody else. So we too sing America. And that's really the theme of this concert and our entire, it's been the theme of our entire season this year. And we're culminating the season with this concert.
So season finale
Yes.
is on Sunday.
Yes.
At 3.
Yes.
At the Disney Hall. You all know where it is. It's a beautiful facility with amazing sonic
Yes.
profiles.
Perhaps the best acoustic place in town, probably on the entire West Coast.
Wow. It says season finale, but yet you're launching a tour?
Well, you just said a moment ago that it's the 250th anniversary of the United States.
I did.
And, there have been some attempts to celebrate this by other people, particularly in Washington, D.C. And it's my view that they have not celebrated the contributions that black people have made.
I.e. the wrestling. Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about. The wrestling. Yeah, well, we're wrestling against powers of darkness. How's that?
That's perfect.
Well, okay. So, yeah, you're right. No, we're not going to celebrate through wrestling. We're going to celebrate through something that we do very well, and that is do music. And we're going to lift up poetry. We're also going to, part of the concert will feature a recitation of Maya Angelou's Still I Rise, because we as a people still are rising, hopefully. Certainly, I think I can attest to the fact that by virtue of the fact that I work with these young people, we are very much still on the rise. So we'll also perform a piece by Aaron Copland entitled Lincoln Portrait, in which William Allen Young will again be reciting some of the words of Lincoln's most famous speeches, put to music by Aaron Copland. And that'll be the first half of the program. Second half of the program, we're actually featuring a steel pan band who's going to join the orchestra in playing music of the Caribbean, calypso and soca and reggae. And then we'll finish with a spiritual.
Wow.
He's got the whole world in his hands.
It's quite a ride then.
Yeah, oh, yes, absolutely. Oh, for sure. Come, be there. You got to see it.
It sounds like it's going to be amazing. Now, I wanted to ask you this because, go ahead.
You said something, and I failed to answer your question. You were talking about the tour.
Yes.
Yes, so this is the 250th anniversary of the country, and in order to celebrate, we are kicking it off with this concert at Disney Hall. And then from there, we're taking our young people, 95 to 100 of them. We're getting on a plane on Monday, and we're flying to Rapid City, South Dakota.
Wow.
And we will perform a concert at the Mount Rushmore Amphitheater on Tuesday, the 14th. On Wednesday, the 15th, we get on a plane again and go from Rapid City to Washington, D.C. And on Friday, the 17th, we will perform the first orchestral concert to be presented at the National Museum of African American History and Culture. That'll be on Friday, the 17th. On the next morning, the 18th, we get on Amtrak and go up the coast from Washington to New York. That evening, we'll play a concert in Brooklyn. The next morning, Sunday morning, the 19th, we'll play for church services at Riverside Church. And then that afternoon, we will do a finale concert for the season and for the tour at Convent Avenue Baptist Church in Brooklyn, in Harlem. And that'll be at 3 o'clock on Sunday. For those of you in New York, come out and join us.
I got family out there. I'm sure they're probably noting and listening. So what I was going to ask you, and that's quite a tour, by the way. Wow, some historic venues, some historic firsts.
I got to share with you, it is a huge tour and a huge undertaking, but I think it's worth it because I think our young people, I'm talking about young people in the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles, most of whom are black and brown, have never been to Mount Rushmore and probably will never go to Mount Rushmore unless we take them. They've never been to the Statue of Liberty. We're going to take them to the Statue of Liberty while we're in New York. We're going to go see Ellis Island. We're going to go by the United Nations, and we're going to hopefully, take people's minds away from the idea that there are S-hole countries, supposedly, and there are, people who are being deported, primarily people of color, by lifting up the celebration of the contributions that we've made to this country and that we've made, honestly, to the entire world. And that's really the focus of what we are trying to say here. We, too, sing America. We, too, are a vibrant and vital part of the goodness of this country.
And I think Mount Rushmore needs to see those young people just as much as those young people need to see Mount Rushmore. So this is beautiful. We will continue this conversation when we come forward. We are talking about I Do Sing America. We're talking music. We're talking young people and the many ways we celebrate our country. He's the founder, executive director, and conductor of the Inner City Youth Orchestra. Charles Dickerson is with me, and you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Listen up, KBLA delegation. We have something you need to hear. Right now, you may qualify for low-cost home internet. And we're not talking about a catch. This is real. Many internet service providers offer low-cost internet plans if anyone in your household is enrolled in CalFresh, Medi-Cal, SSI, or is income eligible. There are a lot of families in our community who deserve to be connected. Here's all you do. Call 844-461-7893. That's the Get Connected call center. Real people ready to help you enroll today. Or go online to internetforallnow.org to find a provider near you. You may also qualify for a low-cost computer through Human IT. Connectivity is not a luxury. In 2026, it's a necessity. And you deserve access just like everybody else. Call 844-461-7893. That's 844-461-7893. KBLA's got you. If you missed any of this, you can always go to our website at kbla1580.com. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 in partnership with the California Emerging Technology Fund, CETF.
I think my LADWP bill is due, but nothing's come in the mail yet.
You still get paper bills?
Yeah, it's how I keep track of things.
Clearly, it's not working. You can't remember when it's due. You need to sign up for paperless billing. I get an email when my LADWP bill is due. I never have to wait on the mail, and I can see 7 years of bills in my online account. Plus, first-time signups get a $10 bill credit.
$10 bill credit for new LADWP paperless billing signups. LADWP.com/paperless.
Going to a World Cup match in LA this summer? Ditch the parking stress and ride Metro. With direct service from across LA County, it's the easy way to get there for just $1.75 each way.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The BLM Center for Black Power is a hub for Black activism in the city of Los Angeles, a standalone nonprofit affiliated with Black Lives Matter LA. The venue is home to live events, meetings, and organizing drives for Black-led community-based organizations. It is also the base of operations for Black Lives Matter LA. Built on what used to be a nuisance property owned by an arms dealer, the BLM Center for Black Power is in the heart of Leimert Park and has opened its doors to everything from youth organizers to toy drives to film screenings and community town hall meetings. To make a donation or make a request, please visit blmla.org. That's blmla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back indeed. You're with Charles Dickerson. They call him Chuck, and he is the conductor and founder of the Inner City Youth Orchestra, which is more than just an orchestra. You guys have all kinds of programs for young people to help them develop. The question I wanted to ask, somewhat based on the conversation I was having with Steve from Brooklyn, but sort of the ongoing conversation that I do have with many of our seasoned adults, is where are we with young people in the musicianship? You know, people, I do believe, think that all young people like hip-hop. I'm a hip-hop head myself. But I've also noticed through being on the board of the LA Jazz Festival Foundation with Martin Ludlow, that there are young people from many, like every state, because they have a summer camp for jazz players who are incredible, who must be somewhere practicing their trumpets and their saxophones and basses and cellos night and day to be at that level. Where are we? If you were to put us on a trajectory or a continuum of our investment in musicianship and craft with our young people, where would you put us?
That's a tough question to answer, but I'm going to try.
Okay.
Let me share with you that, all too often within our country, whether you're black, white, or anything else, there's been such a focus on sciences, on
STEM.
On STEM, that's right. And you'll note that STEM leaves out the A. STEM is what? Science, technology, engineering, and math. Whereas arts, and therefore the term STEAM came along, STEAM. Well, the A is for arts, and that includes music. So I feel like a generation of us have been, not just black, but period in America, have been kind of left behind in the sense, we talked about No Child Left Behind. Hell, we left a lot of kids behind because we did not have an outlet for them, those who are artistically inclined. So I think in many ways we've fallen way behind. Of course, we're also, as a nation, we've fallen behind in other elements of education. But this one, I think, is particularly noted. Nevertheless, you still know that we have new artists coming out every day. And as you just noted, you talked about the Jazz Festival upcoming. And you've seen wonderful and great young people doing art. I have the privilege of working with young people. You talked about practicing every day. I have the privilege of working with, right now, there's going to be 100 kids on this tour. We're going to take about 45 violinists. Those kids practice their violin just about every day. We're going to take about 11 cellists, about 6 or 7 acoustic bass players. Those kids all practice their instruments every single day. There's one other issue I want to talk about in response to your question, and that is the fundamentals of music. Every discipline, I don't care what it is, has fundamentals. Just as chemistry has the elements of the graph of elements, which is kind of like a fundamental starting base for chemistry. Well, in music, we have a starting base. It's music theory and understanding the real components of music. All too often, we hear and can produce music, but we're not too good at knowing the real fundamentals. And that's another spot where I think we could shore up, particularly in the black community, knowing more about the fundamentals of music. We do a fantastic job in terms of producing good music, but let's know a little bit more about how this all fits together. So I'm going to go back to your question. We might be at a C+ in terms of giving young people where we would stand in a graph, in a grading graph, in terms of how we're doing with getting
You're talking about what we're providing to them.
Yes, I am.
Right, and I guess I was looking at more through their dedication, but I can see that in a sense you've answered both, because the cellists and violinists and acoustic bass players that you are describing, the young people are stepping up, whether they have the support or not, which is insane, and I'm very grateful.
They are dedicated,
to them for doing that.
And they all deserve A+.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about the show on Sunday. Give us a peek inside, why we ought to get out of our houses, which a lot of us have forgotten how to do since COVID, and go to the Disney Hall or connect with you. And I'm assuming we can find it at icyola.org, all the different concerts that you've described.
That's it. So, again, this is our season ender. So just so you know, Dominique, we put on a season of concerts every year. And this will be about our 15th or 16th concert this year. We begin usually in October. We usually begin with a hymns concert, and that's usually presented at Holman Church. I still have great relations there. And so we usually do that, and then we follow that with a season opener. This past year, we did that at Trinity Baptist. We do a Christmas season concert. We do 2 or 3 Martin Luther King Day concerts. We usually do one at the California African American Museum. We do 2 or 3 Black History Month concerts. We usually do one of those at the Skirball Cultural Center, going up by the 405 freeway. And then we do a spring. We get so many calls during the spring to do little things. There's an organization called ABOP, the Alliance A-B of Black O Orchestral P, percussionists. We do a concert with them generally in the spring, in which we give emerging percussionists an opportunity to play with an orchestra. And then we do our season ender. Our season ender will be this Sunday, and as I've already noted, we'll open with a recitation of I Too Sing America, Langston Hughes' great poem. But we've set it to music. Aaron Copland wrote a piece entitled Fanfare for the Common Man. and we will, William Allen Young will recite I Too Sing America with the orchestra playing in the background, Copeland's fanfare for the common man. You want to come out and see that, if nothing else. But in addition, we'll be playing a piece called Afrospire, Afrospire, by Nukuri, by Bakari Nukuri. Bakari is 21 years old. He's a composition major at USC. He's black, and he's written this piece that is really overtaking the white world right now in terms of orchestral music. Afrospire by Bakari Nukuri. You want to come and see this concert for that, if nothing else. Here's another reason. Part of what we offer to our community is music lessons. And by the way, we do this without charge to the young people who have the benefit of having those lessons. We start our music lessons with kids as young as 5 years old. Those kids will be on stage with us on Sunday afternoon. They'll have an opportunity to present a couple of pieces with their conductor. We have an assistant conductor who oversees them. And those young people aged about 5 to about age 16 or 17 will be presenting a couple of pieces at Disney Hall. And I just think that our community needs to come out and support those young people. Let them know that they are valuable. Let them know that what they do is an important contribution to the uplifting of our community.
Well, Charles Dickerson, congratulations. Congratulations not just on the season closer at the Disney Hall, but on the incredible tour, including Mount Rushmore and the Black-sonion.
I can dig it, yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
ICYOLA.org if you want to connect with any of the concerts coming up, or including Sunday at Disney Hall. Congratulations to you and to all the young people.
Dominique, thank you so very much, and thanks again for having us this morning.
Absolutely. We needed that. Back to politics, y'all. But yes, I Too Sing America. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. A 5-year-old Detroit boy is recovering after being shot while riding his bicycle outside his home on the west side of the city. Police Chief Todd Bettison.
His father was supervising, and the father heard approximately 3 gunshots, and his child fell from his bicycle.
Police say the child was struck in the arm and is expected to fully recover. Investigators have identified a teen person of interest